sport requires you to develop your kinesthetic intelligence in order to improve.
What?
So let's get started with the basics. Focus on the tip of your fingers. This part of your hand is extremely sensitive. Use this to your advantage as you improve your stroke. When you swim, feel how the water moves through them. Make a smooth entry and glide. In order to swim and not exert unnecessary energy, it is important to keep your momentum with the least amount of effort. The tips of your fingers must enter the water before anything else. Once the whole arm is in, you should reach and stretch, gliding about 4 inches or 10 centimeters under the surface of the water. This will ensure that you are not causing a lot of resistance while keeping your shoulder relaxed. Master the 3 parts of the pool. The first part of the pool is very important. It has 2 purposes. 1, it will give you a push upwards to keep your body close to the surface, and 2, it will start the momentum of the pool. To do this, it is important that the hand faces down and back at a 45-degree angle. The second part is where most of the speed will be generated. Focus on using your hand as a paddle and move the most amount of water on this direction. The final part of the pool is very underrated, but if you focus on finishing the stroke with a solid push, you will have an advantage and your hand will be ready for the recovery. Keep a relaxed recovery. Keep your hand relaxed during the recovery. While one hand is gliding, the other is recovering. The pool starts just before the other hand recovers completely. Depending on the distance, it might change a little. For example, in a sprint race, you don't need to glide, but for basic training, this is a good way to swim. Remember, focus on the tip of your fingers, make a smooth entry and glide, master the 3 parts of the pool, keep a relaxed recovery. The way to learn new skills is to focus on one thing and practice it frequently. The next time you swim, it is a good idea to focus on your shoulders and head position as explained on these 4 points. Break the surface with the top of your head. Your eyes should be pointing between the surface and the bottom of the pool. If you look up too much, you will create drag and your lower body will sink, creating more drag. If you look down too much, you will create excess drag with your head and shoulders. Rotate your shoulders. The rotation of the shoulders is very important to prevent injuries and to pull more water with each stroke. This should be a natural rotation caused by the reaching of one arm and the recovery of the other. Keep your head steady. If you're not breathing, then your head should be completely still. This might be a challenge, especially when the shoulders are rotating correctly. But if you focus on following the lines on the floor, it will be easier to keep your head still. Breathe during the recovery. A good breathing timing can improve your stroke dramatically. The breath is short and quick. It should take less than the arm's recovery. Your mouth should be twisted to one side. Only one goggle should be out of the water. If you turn your head too much, you will mess up the timing, your arms will be forced to slow down, and you will sink a little. Remember to practice one thing at a time. Break the surface with the top of your head. Rotate your shoulders. Keep your head steady. Breathe during the recovery. Bonus tip: don't forget to make this face while you put your goggles on. Thanks for watching. Swim fast. If you really want to get better at swimming, you need to learn how to kick properly. Here are 4 things that can help you perfect your kicking technique. In the last video, I talked about shoulder rotation. The hip rotation should be synchronized with the shoulders. While the hips are rotating, you must continue kicking. The feet will be facing one side of the pool, and after a few kicks, they will be facing the other side. The knees should not be bent very much, or else you will slow down. They should be bent just enough to have the power to kick down, and then use your hamstrings to kick up. If you spread your legs too much, you will actually be pushing water forward, which is bad. To avoid this, try spreading your legs just enough to touch the surface and downwards just a few inches past the body line. If you already dominate all the other points of the tutorial, the thing that will make you improve the most is ankle flexibility. As you can see here, my ankles are in dorsiflexion. I do not go forward very fast, even though the only thing I'm doing wrong is my ankle flexion. So when you swim, try to have your ankles in plantar flexion, like this. The thing with the ankles is that the straighter they are, the less resistance you will create. Everyone has different ankle flexibility. But while some say it is not possible to gain more flexibility than the one you were born with, you can get back some flexibility you lost since you were a baby. So be sure to stretch the ankles daily. The point of this drill is to get better at turning fast. Forget about getting your feet to the wall. Just turn as fast as possible. Use your whole body to turn. Do this a couple of times and pay attention at how it feels. The tighter your body is, the faster the turn. Be careful with your head not to hit the floor. Bring your knees as close as possible to your chest. The better you do the turn, the easier this drill gets. You can do this drill inside or outside the pool. Focus on pushing the floor with this part of the foot. Bend your knees close to 90 degrees and push as high as you can, making a fast streamline in the process. Do this several times to create muscle memory. To do this drill, just do a normal flip turn, but stick to the wall 2 or 3 seconds. This will give you time to think and adjust your landing. It will also give you time to set yourself in a good position for the push. Remember, tight streamline, strong core, knees at 90 degrees, and push hard. Let me know in the comments if you want the next video to be about how to do starts or how to do butterfly technique. Thanks for watching. Swim fast. Doing flip turns correctly is essential for smooth, enjoyable laps. There are 4 main things to keep in mind while practicing a turn so that you master it and then not even have to think about it while swimming laps. The first and most important thing to do in a flip turn is to know the timing. The distance to start a turn is very different for everyone, and it also depends on your speed coming into the wall. Having said that, you should start the turn at arm's length. To practice that, this is a good drill to do. Do this several times until you get a hold of the distance and you lose the fear of approaching the wall. Now that you know how to approach the wall, the first movement of the turn is the head. You need to bury your head down just in time so that the turn is successful. To do this, you need to pay attention to the floor. Make a mental mark of the last place on the floor you see before turning. If you are too far or too close, make sure to adjust it until it's just right, and then try to always turn at that point. Now, I should say it is a good idea to breathe before the turn in order to float better, and to have enough air to blow some of it through your nose when you are face up. Otherwise, water will enter your nose. Right now, you have a lot of information to process, so make sure to practice these 2 points before moving on. Now, to actually do the turn, the most important body parts are the arms, and also the core, but we will get to that in the next point. The arms actually play a crucial part because they act as leverage for the rest of the body to turn and to not sink while doing it. So pay attention to how the hands are placed straight back and facing down. You actually need to push water downwards to do the leverage and to stay a few inches under the surface, where you ought to be. Now that you know the secret arms movement, the other part you might not know is that in order to bring your legs on top and around your body, you need to use your core muscles. Engage those muscles right here. Bend your knees and flex your ankles on dorsiflexion. Prepare your feet to touch the wall and push. Now you're ready. Go and practice what you have learned. If you already dominate the flip turn, but you want to get better and faster, subscribe to my channel because my next video will be about advanced tips and techniques to do a perfect flip turn.